Hi, this is Deboki, and today I'm gonna make you watch me do my makeup. This is actually, this video has two purposes. First is just to let me multitask because my parents are gonna be here this weekend, so I won't have time to film, so I thought maybe I should just get something done kind of ahead of the time for not my thesis. I also need to go to lab, so I figured I've been kind of on the heels of my last video talking about diversity and kind of gender disparity in STEM. I wanted to talk about kind of one of the more specific ways that it manifests. It's not like a huge issue, it's not like a hill that I'm gonna die on or anything anytime soon. Maybe I will. I do like my makeup. But it is to me kind of representative of the general atmosphere of how gender disparities can kind of manifest. Yeah, which is makeup and really kind of just anything that involves looking feminine, like dressing up. Right now I'm wearing sports clothes, but whatever, let's just pretend I'm wearing a dress. So I'm gonna kind of do my makeup and talk about wearing makeup. It's not gonna be like a tutorial or anything. I'm gonna start off with my Laneige BB cushion, just because I don't always wear foundation, but right now you can see pretty obvious I've been pretty bad about dealing with my pimples. It's not like makeup is something that I've always done. In high school I wore very small amounts. My parents they weren't huge fans of makeup, and I wouldn't really encourage it or anything. So I think the most I wore in high school on a daily basis would be mascara, maybe some eyeliner, but really just tight lining, so pretty mild. And I think that basically continued through college. There's kind of a learning curve for I think everything past tight lining and mascara. With lipstick, there's kind of a it's easy to put on lipstick, but if you're not comfortable with reapplying or I don't know, making it look a certain way, there can be kind of a learning curve with that. And eyeshadow, there's definitely a huge learning curve, so I just wasn't comfortable. I'm going in with concealer now. This is the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer. So the reason that I started wearing more makeup in grad school was really just because I always wanted to wear more makeup. It just kind of looked like fun to be able to do your eyeshadow. And I used to follow this blog. She doesn't write anymore, unfortunately, called Brightest Bulb in the Box, and she would basically just write really in-depth reviews of makeup. And even though I didn't wear eyeshadow, I really loved her eyeshadow reviews and just kind of seeing her looks. And I just got to a point where I was like, okay, I think I want to learn how to do eyeshadow. And this was in my third year. I was finally kind of getting help for my anxiety and depression, and I was about to get married, so I was also kind of just trying to learn more about makeup for that. And so kind of combined with my kind of getting exposed to things that were giving me anxiety, I was like, well, I'm definitely not comfortable wearing makeup, so maybe I should just kind of take this time and just do it. I'm gonna do my brows now. This is the NYX micro pencil. I don't know if it's the right color completely. I don't think it's cool tone enough. Also kind of fucked up one part of my brow plucking. You can kind of tell they're not really symmetric. And I think I over plucked this side, and I'm still waiting for it to grow in. So yeah, so I basically, at that point, I had I think, the Naked palette, and I just, never really used it, and that was pretty much my only eyeshadow palette. I would, periodically buy quads and be those little, eyeshadow quads from the drugstore and be okay, I'm gonna do it, and then I did it, and it always looked super muddy and, terrible. And so I kind of turned to Reddit. Reddit is kind of, I have such mixed feelings about Reddit. It's kind of like a cesspool. If you want to talk about places with gender disparity, or if you really want to see how gender disparity in tech and science manifests in really gross ways, Reddit is maybe one of the places to go. But I do also find it a really helpful place if you are just learning how to get into certain hobbies. I've used it to kind of learn about fountain pens, about notebooks, bullet journaling, yeah, and makeup. The makeup addiction subreddit it's full of information. Some of it helpful, some of it not, kind of like any place. And I think it's the kind of place that once you've been there for a while, it starts to get repetitive, but when you are new, it's kind of really nice because people are posting so many different looks, they're talking about so many different products and giving kind of informal reviews and stuff that I found it really, really helpful overall to learn from. And that helped me kind of figure stuff out to begin with. And when I first started getting eyeshadow on my face, it was still terrible. Like I bought better brushes, I bought eyeshadow palettes that like had good reviews and stuff, but you know, you're never gonna get it right on your first try. You're probably still not gonna get it right on your 20th try. It takes like a lot of tries to like finally get that shit down. The other thing was like, I also found liquid lipsticks, and one of my big pet peeves with lipstick before was like having them kind of stay on long enough, and liquid lipsticks are basically like paint for your mouth. They just like latch on and don't go anywhere if they're good. And that was also like a huge game changer for me. Okay, I'm gonna go in with the NYX eyeshadow base. And so yeah, that's basically how I got into makeup. And it's weird now because I think definitely for my department, we have like a relatively decent number, we have like a pretty large number of women in our department. I think of the women, I'm probably like on the side of wearing more makeup compared to most people. But I also think my sense is that compared to like real life people, I think I'm like kind of around average, maybe still slightly on the higher side. It's hard to tell because most of my exposure to makeup is through online communities, where I think right now, especially with like Instagram makeup, the trend is very much like very heavy makeup, like heavy foundation, and then basically painting your features on, which I'm not crazy into. Even in college, where we had like this, like, you know, like around 30% of the class was women, were women, you could definitely see it manifest in how women presented themselves in terms of their femininity. Before I go more into that, I'm dealing with eyeshadow now. I basically have two palettes that I rotate between. It's the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette and the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. Yeah, they're just both awesome. This is like a matte neutrals. This is like kind of more reddish neutrals. It's not all matte. I just really love both of them. So in college, you could definitely see like girls would come in, and me included, like we would put like effort into our appearance, and then because like the campus is so male dominated, you kind of get to a point where your goal is to be treated as one of the guys, because that's what it seems like you have to do to be like given respect. And my freshman year, I was always just in like jeans and free t-shirts all the time, and then over the course of my time in college, I became kind of progressively more my girly self, or semi-girly. I don't know if I describe myself as girly, but definitely put more effort into it. And I think like I didn't have an issue with anything. I don't know, probably there could have been, but like I had a friend who one day wore a black dress. It was like a simple black dress. Like it's, you know, it's just like a simple black dress that you wear when, you know, you just want to like wear a comfortable dress. And like people were like, what are you wearing? Like, why are you so dressed up? Like, this is the standard I'm talking about. Like where like wearing like even a low heel is considered dressed up. Wearing things that fit is considered dressed up. Like that's what we're dealing with. And I think it's kind of correlated to how people see femininity in general. Like there's a very delicate balance with like how you're supposed to manifest your femininity. You're supposed to put in some effort because nobody wants to see your face without makeup, right? No one wants to see that, you know, you have bags under your eyes, or that you like, I don't know, get marks on your skin, because you're supposed to be like somewhat filtered. But then God forbid you put in too much effort, now you're not being serious enough about your work, right? Like if you're a girl and you're putting a lot of effort into your makeup, that must mean that you're not serious about math and science, right? Like you're too girly for these things. Like I remember I have a friend who's in math, and math, like I work in a biology oriented field, and those fields have more women. Math is very incredibly gender skewed. Like math, physics, those fields are more male dominated, and she would like deliberately, like during college, dress down if she were going into the math department, because it was just like, whoa, what are you doing here? Like if you wear anything like that. And I've made these judgments. Like when I first got to college and I saw people who were like even more dressed up than me, I was like, psh, like she's probably not very smart. And of course you're wrong. Like I was wrong. Like objectively I was wrong, and it was also stupid of me to make those assumptions, but it's just really ingrained in us that like if you're a girl who does science, you have to be more low maintenance because smart people aren't high maintenance, I guess. I don't know. It's dumb. It is frustrating. I like totally empathize with any woman who wants to like dress up more but feels uncomfortable doing it, because I get it. Like I have been there. My experience is that I haven't had issues with people taking me seriously, at least to my face. Maybe they don't, I don't know, but I haven't had issues yet that I'm aware of. Okay, so I'm gonna go do some tight lining now. I'm gonna start off with a gel liner. This is the Tony Moly gel liner. I like really hate the shape of this. It's supposed to be convenient because like there's a brush that goes in here, so you like always have your liner in your brush, except that like it basically creates this annoying shape. I think another side of this is kind of looking at why women wear makeup, and it's kind of a discussion that comes up a lot on makeup addiction, because women are like, I think because there is such a delicate balance considered between what's like a good amount of makeup or good makeup and what's bad, like what's putting in too much. Because you know there's a common refrain, and this isn't just about people in science, but I think it's something that comes up a lot, where guys will tell girls like in such a well-meaning way, which is not well-meaning. Just because you think it's well-meaning does not mean it's well-meaning. Like, oh, you look so much better without makeup, when really what they mean is, or they don't know that they mean this, they think that no makeup is like you just wake up looking fresh, but really no makeup is like a little bit of concealer, a little bit of eyeliner, and some mascara probably, and maybe a little bit of brows. They just don't know what women look like without makeup. And so a lot of people kind of like, you'll see this common refrain of like, I do makeup for me. And I agree with that. I mostly do makeup for me. Before I continue, I'm going in with another liner. This was so exciting. I also got this in Hong Kong. This is one of those like felt tip liners that I really like the Kat Von D liner, the Steeler one. But this one, it's like a Sailor Moon. It's got like a Sailor Moon design here, and it came with a cap that this is like a little Sailor Moon wand thing, but anyway, that's not important. So yeah, I agree with that notion. I think guys vastly overestimate the extent to which women do things for them. At the same time, I don't think that as women we can necessarily pretend that we're making choices that are completely independent of the surrounding culture. When I put on makeup, yeah, I'm doing it because it's how I want to look. Like, it's very much informed by like what I want to look like in public and just like my personal taste. But my personal taste is completely formed in the surrounding culture of how women are portrayed. Like, when I want to look a certain way, I can't pretend that I'm ignoring the broader context of like how women are shown in advertisements and movies and TV and books, like comic books, all of these things. Women are portrayed a certain way with regards to their makeup. And yeah, that informs what people think women look like naturally. It informs what I want to look like. It informs what other people want me to look like. So I don't think that the refrain of just like, I do it for me. I think it's true, but I don't think people are kind of fully taking in the picture about why they're making certain choices. I forgot to set my brows. I'm using the NYX Brow Mascara. I like just saying broadly, I like makeup as a hobby because it's just like a fun way to change your appearance. For me, it's really like about colors. I really just like really bright colors. Everything I do, I think, is like about adding color to me. And makeup is the easiest way to do that and change that on a daily basis. I'm gonna go in with my Anastasia Moonchild Glow Kit. This is a highlighting palette. It's really pretty. These colors like don't look super practical, like they're like purple and blue and green and stuff, but I've been really liking it for underneath different blushes. I really feel like it adds like a different kind of tone to them. So kind of moving away from the gender discussion, one of the other like things that for me is like a huge consideration with makeup that I've had to think about more constructively over the past is consumption. Makeup is so easy to buy. Like, it's so easy to buy so much of it. It's in the drugstore for really low prices. Sephora is really good about like sending you more emails about things you don't need but convincing that you need them anyway. I'm gonna go in with the blush now. This is the Becca blush in Hyacinth. These are super pigmented, so if you don't like that, I don't recommend them, but I would like pigmented blushes. I prefer putting in like a huge chunk of color and then blending it out. If you've watched beauty YouTube people or follow beauty blogs, or even if you go on the makeup addiction subreddit, you've probably seen a lot of these things at work. People basically buy huge amounts of makeup and then tell you that you need these products as well, that you need all of these things. I'm going in with the Maybelline Colossal Chaotic mascara. It's fine. I don't know. So yeah, so the, and like companies will like do so much stuff to like hype up their products. They'll post them all over Instagram. They'll make them limited edition. They'll convince you basically that you need a million different highlighters, a million different red lipsticks, like a bunch of eyeshadow palettes that all have different colors. Like, it's so easy to be convinced that you need to buy everything. And when I first started getting into makeup, I definitely got sucked into that, which is not good because I am on a grad student budget, and it's also kind of stressful just owning a shit ton of makeup because you either use one thing a lot and then you feel guilty for not using anything else, or you use everything but you only use it a few times and you feel guilty because you're not like maximizing how much you use it. I think like a lot of people who went through their Marie Kondo kind of like purging, I got rid of a bunch of my makeup, and I really have found that it helps me enjoy the makeup that I actually like instead of having a bunch of shit that I don't use. There are a lot of people who are talking more about not consuming a shit ton of makeup or how to engage with makeup as a hobby without having it be about buying new products all the time. Kimberly Clark on YouTube, she has a really great YouTube series called her Anti-Haul series, which I think has inspired like a lot of other people to do the same, where she basically talks about the makeup that she's not going to buy, and she just does a lot of research into like how other people's reviews, and kind of talks for her considerations, things like packaging, as well as sometimes the company ethics, all of these different factors into why she is no longer going to buy different products. And I think it's just a really great way to start thinking more critically about why you don't want to buy things. Going back to Reddit, there's a really great subreddit called Makeup Rehab, where basically people who are committed to not buying as much makeup or using basically the makeup that they have, instead of just constantly accumulating new products, will talk about kind of their journey. Or there's these great talk me out of threads that I like in reading, and they're kind of like those anti-haul videos where basically people say like, I want to buy this product, tell me why I don't need it. I'm gonna do, today I feel like doing a lip tint, so I'm using the Chosungah 22 lip tint in gloss and lace. Like I said, I used to be super into liquid lipsticks, but I got recently super not into them anymore, and I think the big thing for me is that they're so drying. Sorry, I realized I can't talk while putting on lipstick. Like, basically I got to a point where I was putting on liquid lipsticks and I felt like I was painting a desert onto my face because they just suck all of the moisture out of your lips. I just got to a point recently where I was like, I am done with liquid lipsticks. I really like them. They help me get into like lipsticks. There are some gorgeous colors. There's some great companies. There are some great products, but I personally have finally gotten to the point where I'm happy with tints and bullet lipsticks. I think I also am just not as much of a fan anymore of that super matte look. Like, it looks like you're painting the lips onto your face. I think that's kind of in line with the Instagram model look, but I think I'm kind of starting to move more into like the, like, I don't know, glossy, kind of less severe face. Good lipsticks don't really help with that. Even though I still like matte lipsticks, I think I prefer them more in bullet form where there's kind of some more softness to them. Okay, I'm gonna go and do another layer of this. Okay, I'm just gonna go in the gloss now and finish up. So this is my normal lab look. Like, I know this seems kind of not related to grad school, and I hope I kind of explained why it is. I'm not really sure if I succeeded. I hope you like this video. I don't think I like taught you anything about makeup because that wasn't my goal, but if you like makeup and you want to talk about it, tell me about it. If you don't like makeup and you want to talk about it, tell me about it. Comments below, Twitter, all of those things. So, bye!